Hi, Scott. This is Peter Erskine. I just watched the video that you posted playing with a big band and some very nice drumming there. And I love big bands, and I really liked the way that you played that tune. I don't recall the name of the song. I mean, it sounded familiar, and so I apologize for not addressing the song by its title. But I wanted to give you a couple of bits of feedback. Now remember, musical opinions are like stick bags. Everybody has one. This is just my take on a couple things that I heard as I listened to that one time. Let's start with the first two notes you played. The band leader counted off 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and I heard you go 4. And part of the reason it stuck out to me was because the band playing in that concert hall, it just seemed like a loud, heavy pickup. And a pickup generally for this kind of music should be a bit lighter, I think. So I would probably be more tempted to do something like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That just has a lighter texture and doesn't take up quite so much frequency. I mean, it would be even worse if you went 1, 2, 3. You know, so where you choose to play a rhythm can really affect the way the music feels. There's nothing wrong with going ba-dap as a pickup on the snare drum. But next time you play it, why don't you try just doing a little cross stick. 1, 2, 3. Soft, just a thing to let the band know where the time is. But I applaud and salute you for playing a pickup, because that does help get everybody into the rhythm of the tune. Speaking of rhythm, conga drums. I understand in bands like this, a lot of times you want to give everyone a chance to play, but congas didn't really seem to fit on this tune. And I would probably, if I had anything to do with it, I'd ask the conga drummer to sit out on that one. Part of the problem, too, is that the conga pattern got turned around during the trombone solo. And I don't know if it's an actual bassy chart. It sounded like a Sammy Nestico tune a little bit, but it's a bassy-esque kind of tune. And there ain't no conga drums on too many bassy charts. So that added a little bit to the clunkiness of the feel. You switched to brushes, and you did that very well. And when you switch back to sticks, equally well. Very smooth, and it's a nice idea. Good fills. At the end, however, you seem to be concentrating either on playing time or playing fills. This is what every drummer is taught to do, okay? So what I'm about to say is not a criticism, but more and more I'm discovering that by not always catching the band fills, the music flows along nicer and it will actually swing more. I just did a recording with Seth MacFarlane. You might know his name as the creator of Family Guy and American Dad and The Cleveland Show, and he does a lot of those voices. He's also a tremendous singer. And we recorded this album in Capitol Studios, much like they made albums in the old days. All the trumpets, the brass, trombones, woodwinds, strings, drums. We were all in the same room together. And because of all those different instruments, microphones, if I did a drum fill, I really had to commit to it. I mean, that was a drum fill that had to be important because of the amount of room, again, that it sort of took up in the music. And I found myself going more and more for the choice of a classic beat that Alvin Stoller or Shelly Manne or any number of drummers would have played, which is like this. The tempo is 1, 2, 3. Likewise, when the band gets louder, you could accomplish a lot just by going 1, 2, 3. As an option to playing all the fills. The final observation, no, it's feeling done anymore. The final observation I'd make was your last fill. You went something like that. Next time, try this. It's not as fast, but that's kind of the point. It has more attitude. So even though it's not as fast, and I mean, there's 1,000 different fills you could put in there, but there's sometimes a simple it's fat. It's probably the kind of thing that would help the band, even for that last note, sit on the time, not much more. And that's often the difference between an okay band or a good band or a great band. The time feel and how well the band will sit on the time. And so the simpler you play and the more rhythmic information you can provide, take the pressure off yourself. You don't really need to do that much. I think the fatter the whole thing will feel. It, clink. Thank you, and that's Peter Erskine signing off from Drum Channel.